Here we go. All right. Hey,
That was badass.
that's the beginning and the middle and the end of our show. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Chip Ritter.
Chip Ritter, thank you. Good night. That was
Nice
awesome.
work, man.
Yeah,
I said,
Amazing.
yeah, that's just a little taste. You're going to get
That's
more, Chip. We're
very,
going to tell
very
you how you
cool.
can get more, Chip, and when we talk to April. Go ahead, Bart. Sorry.
Can we get it? No, it's okay. I just want to get a chip of Chip.
Now I'm hungry.
I'd like a little chip of Chip.
A little
Hi, everybody. I'm Bart Robley. Welcome to Drummers Education Connection. We are here every Tuesday at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And today we have a very special guest in the house. April Samuels is with us.
What's up? Thanks for having me, guys, man. Super
You
stoked to be here.
You bet. And along with
Pleasure.
April, we have our friend Jeremy Steinkohler in the Bay Area. Down below me in Tucson, Arizona, Chip Ritter, the man who played us in and juggled the sticks, and just the guy. So anyway, welcome to Drummers Education Connection. As usual, we're going to start with our normal thing, good things. And good things is just something where we talk about something that's good going on in our life, in drumming, outside of drumming, just whatever. So I'm going to throw it over to Jeremy. Jeremy, what you got going on, dude?
My good thing right now this week is that my son Evan, who many of you know is a really incredible jazz piano player, just got into the top jazz ensemble at his college. So that's super exciting.
Nice.
Really proud of him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Chip, what do you got going, buddy?
And I've got to be honest with you, a special needs student of mine named Philip, who went through a horrible accident when he was a young kid at 8 years old and had brain damage. But he's still one of the most positive, uplifting people I know. And we had a breakthrough with him last week, and he's now beating in time with the music. He's able to really kind of isolate where the pulse is of the music. And so it's a start towards playing songs in time. So it was kind of like a breakthrough. So I'm stoked about that. So
That's huge, man. Congrats.
yeah, it's pretty big. It's a big deal to me. Yeah.
That is really cool, man. That is fantastic. And you know what? I should have gone ladies first, but you're our guest. And so, April, what do you have going on that's really good in your life?
Well, most everything is always through Breast Cancer Can Stick It, and where we're being led to go with that, providing hope and inspiration to women out there that are really struggling through breast cancer, whether they're just struggling being on the other side of it or still going through it right now. We've been traveling across the country, hit about 12 states in our big RV bus. It's pink, and really reaching a lot of folks and giving them a lot of hope and inspiration. So that's our big thing, man. Got a great team that's doing that too.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Good
That's
on
huge.
you. That's amazing. That's so
Thanks,
cool.
man. Thank you.
You bet.
Our good things are not as good as your good thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Your good thing is a little better than our good thing.
Whatever.
Not that it's a
All
competition.
good things. All good things.
All
are
good things are good. I know. I'm just
Yeah.
teasing. I'm just teasing.
Totally, man.
Yeah, my after hearing that, my good thing is that I woke up healthy today, and
Yeah,
thank God
there you
for it. That's my good thing. I'm so
Amen.
thankful
Love it.
for that. So today we have April Samuels on, and as she said, she has a foundation. Would that be the correct
Yep,
thing
that's
to call?
the proper thing to call it right there.
There
Yep.
you go. Foundation called Breast Cancer Can Stick It, and coming up in April, in November, April is holding
I'm happy to confuse that for you.
Exactly. I'm completely screwed up now. She is hosting her annual drumathon, and Chip Ritter is going to be the MC of that.
Yes.
And that is to raise money for people who are going through breast cancer. And Chip is hosting a thing right now he's having a drum solo contest to raise money for Breast Cancer Can Stick It. And the whole thing
Yeah,
is
I'm one of the many fundraisers that is out there right now. April's got a team of us, and I'm one of many, and we're all trying to drum up funds to help support the drumathon and breastcancercanstickit.org.
Yeah,
Man,
you're
that's
slaying
awesome.
dragons, man. Chip is slaying dragons. So awesome. Thank you, Chip.
very
Thank
cool.
you.
So let me just throw it out there. April, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself as a drummer, how you got started playing drums, and how the whole breast cancer can stick it thing has come to be? I know it's a big, broad brush question.
Yeah, no,
but,
that's okay. That's okay, man.
but
I love talking about it because I really want to spread the news about breast cancer can stick it and help as many people as we humanly possibly can, you know. So when I was 5 years old, I was at a music store with my mom, and my brother was taking a guitar lesson, and I saw a pair of drumsticks, and I was just like, "Mom, mom, buy me these drumsticks, buy me these drumsticks," and I finally convinced her. And the thing that led to that was I had an older cousin, and then my best friend's older brother both played drums, and so I saw these drum sets in these homes, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, I want to play those." Of course, they wouldn't let me play it, and so I really wanted to be able to play drums. So got those drumsticks. My parents said if I stuck with it, by the time I think I was 11, they said they would buy me a drum set. So they bought me a drum set at 11, and then started playing in a garage band with my brother, who was a guitar player. Did a lot of that, and then started gigging out when I was about 19.
19,
Just
right
just
on.
a couple years ago. Just kidding. And so and so started doing that, and just found that that was something that was just a love in my life. And then in 2010, was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, which is a more rare and aggressive form of breast cancer. And what was weird, y'all, was like 2 days before I was diagnosed, I was waiting for the test results, and I was laying in bed, and I was just struck by this calling. It was just, if you have breast cancer, you're going to be the biggest advocate in the fight against breast cancer that you can be. And of course, in the moment, I was like, hey, I don't have breast cancer. What are we doing here? Don't want to have that conversation or whatever. And when I got the diagnosis, it just kind of, I don't know, it lit a fire under me to want to help people and utilize, kind of where I was with my drumming to bring attention to breast cancer and to help fight breast cancer. And so within 3 years of that, we became a 501c3 nonprofit. So we've been a 501c3 nonprofit since 2013.
wow.
And we incorporate music in all of our events in one way or the other. And like we were talking about, the biggest thing is Drumathon. I skipped a lot of stuff. So, I mean, I could talk more about
Well,
like some of the bands and stuff like that.
This is a good opportunity to let everybody know you have a book out called Breast Cancer Can Stick It. The whole story is in there and more.
Yes.
Very inspirational. I have a copy of it. Nobody gets my copy. And it's very cool. So I mean, we've got plenty of reading for the people at home to do. And you can go to AI and ask what the Drumathon is, and it'll tell you all about it.
Totally
April,
will.
I have a question for you. Can you talk about Chip Heller and and what
Yes.
happened with you and Chip?
Yeah. Just one thing about the book, I wanted to let everybody know it is available on Amazon, so you can check it out there. So if you do want to purchase it, check out Amazon.com. Just search for April Samuel's breast cancer, and it should come right up there at the top.
I'll put a link to it in the chat. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks. So the other Chip in my life is Chip Heller. So in 2015, just a couple of years after our foundation began, Chip Heller came to me and told me all about this thing they used to do in the 80s called Drumathon. And it was based out of Plano, Texas. And it was, way before the internet. And what they would do is these drummers would go door to door, getting people to sponsor them. And the more sponsor dollars they got, the longer they would play. So they would do like a drum solo. And if they got more and more sponsors and more funds, they would play longer and longer. And so they did this for several years. And so it was a deal where it was like a whole day event, but it wasn't a lot of drummers. It was a few drummers drumming a long time. And I said, what if we took a spin on that? Because he brought it to me because he's like, I think you could do something with the foundation with this. And I was like, well, what if we took that idea, instead of having a few drummers play a lot, have a lot of drummers play a few? And so what we started doing is we kind of set it up kind of like our annual walk. And so people can register online at drumathon.org/register. They can start fundraising online right there. And then if you raise $250 or more, you get yourself a goodie bag with like a t-shirt, some drumsticks. It doesn't cost anything to register.
And you get to play at Drumathon.
Right, you get to play a drum solo, a 1-minute drum solo on the big stage at Drumathon, and then additionally, if you raise $250 or more, you get half price on Drum with a Celebrity. So around the whole event, we have celebrity performances, and then about 20 minutes time where people can pay to get up on a second drum set and play alongside a celebrity drummer. And there's a charge for that, but if you raise over $250, it's half price. And then this year, go ahead, Jeremy.
Oh, I was just thinking you should have a thing where you can pay to not get on stage with a celebrity drummer.
Charge everybody for that. If you're not coming up here, you got to pay. Sorry.
Right. Sorry.
But this year we added a new thing. So like I said, $250 or more, you get to do your drum solo on stage. You get half price on Drum with a Celebrity. If you raise 500 or more, we have a new thing that's a Drumathon celebrity drum clinic that we're holding.
Nice.
So the day before Drumathon, we're going to have a drum clinic hosted by Rockstars of Tomorrow in Frisco. And it's going to have Keo Stroud from Big and Rich, Johnny Kelly from Quiet Riot, Danzig, and Typo Negative, Lori Peters from Skillet, and then local clinician David Walters. So it'll be a
Nice.
4-clinician thing and a great networking opportunity. People will get a chance to get autographs, take photos, talk to the clinicians directly. So it's going to be a really exclusive, cool thing. So raising funds for Drumathon pays off, people. Drumathon.org/register. Boom, do it.
Yeah. If you want to share my screen, guys, I got the Drumathon thing. We can take a look at that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got you.
So can you see that?
Yeah.
There we go.
Drumathon right here, 2025. What? Lexus Box Garden at Legacy Hall presents Drumathon 2025 in association with Roland. It's at the Lexus Box Garden at Legacy Hall in Plano, Texas, November 2nd. Celebrity rock stars. Your MC is Julia Small, and then performing the national anthem is Bobby Wood.
Yeah.
Flash Mob, and special guest rock stars. So they're going to let out the news as we get closer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Just like Chip was saying, we have Julia listed up there now as one of the MCs, and we're actually today, right now on this show, is the first time we've announced publicly to our audience that Chip is going to be one of the MCs. So we're excited about that. And
Bart did
Chip,
that. I didn't do that. Bart did that.
Awesome.
Did I blow it?
And no, you didn't know. I wanted you to say it. We're announcing it through all of our channels in 2 days, but I wanted to give an exclusive thing like that right now so people would know that Chip is a part of Drumathon.
Only on Drummers Education
That's
Connection.
right. See, that's what I'm saying. You heard it here first.
Right on, guys.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I wanted. Perfect, y'all.
Hey, thanks, Jeremy.
That is so cool. You are such a positive ball of energy. I mean, just sitting here talking to you. I mean, we always it's too much coffee. Is that what it is? We always call Rick the positive energy hand grenade. But man, you've got a lot of good coming off you. That's so cool.
Well, thank you.
When you were diagnosed, and again, maybe this is a terrible question, but when you were diagnosed, it obviously switched your trajectory as a drummer.
Big time.
How did you turn it into such a positive thing at such a scary moment?
Even long before I was diagnosed with breast cancer, my big word in my life was always hope. I've always just had this hope. I literally feel like any one of us can do anything we set our minds to doing, and we can overcome anything that we need to overcome. I just truly believe that. And so I think subconsciously I wanted to be able to put my energy into something positive because, it was a lot of negative coming at me, but I saw a lot of opportunity to be able to help other people. And so I just sort of took that and ran with it. And to your point, I had been playing in bands forever. I was, I was never a touring artist or anything like that. And I always had kind of thought, I thought I was going to be, like this drummer on tour and playing with these big artists and stuff like that. And whenever I was diagnosed, I was like, this is why I'm a drummer. This is what all this was for. And leading up to that moment, I had done tons of fundraisers for different things. I did stuff for domestic violence for years, for homeless shelters, just a lot of different things like that. I'd held lots of like showcases. I managed bands. I managed like 30 bands before. I worked at a recording studio. So I had all this like marketing experience and all these different experiences and like booking and different things that sort of just all combined together to really explain my life and be like, all this was for this.
Mm.
And so when breast cancer happened, I realized that all my life experiences based on drumming were meant for Breast Cancer Could Stick It and to help other people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's awesome. You're a warrior.
Thanks, Chip, dude. I don't even know what to say to you because you've been so awesome and raising funds. It's just been so amazing. We're so blessed to have you as part of our organization, Chip, for all
Well,
these
I was
years.
telling the guys before we got on, one of my good things is also the fact that I get to do this and get to help. You know, when you're helping people and you're raising money for Drumathon, you feel a sense of purpose. It feels like, you know what I'm actually doing something good with my life.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Oh, sure, man.
all good.
Totally. It's always there and it's there for everybody. And it doesn't just have to be for Breast Cancer Could Stick It. It's like, everybody should find the good in life that they can be doing,
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, you're
Right
right.
on.
Good point.
Yeah, totally, man.
I firmly believe that, we all are given a gift. And obviously, the four of us, our gift is drumming. And what you do with that is, it's kind of up to you what you do with it. And you've done an amazing thing with it, right? And I think we all have that thing. Everybody that picks up a pair of sticks wants to go out on tour and fly around the
Of
world
course, yeah.
in jets and drive Lamborghinis and make
Right.
billions of dollars, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's so many people that are doing that.
There's so many of us that play drums that do that. Yeah,
Right, right.
exactly. Yeah. But you've taken it and turned it into this good thing. Do you really feel that that was the switch? That was the moment where you're just like, this is it. This is why I play the drums.
Yeah, I really do, Bart. Totally. Yeah.
Do you feel that you still want to play in a band though and tour
Yeah.
and record and
feel
do
like
all that stuff?
I feel like it's all part of it. Like, I feel like it's all just parts and pieces that give back to Breast Cancer Could Stick It in some way. Every show I have, I got a slew of business cards and survivor group cards in my pocket, in my car, wherever. And I'm constantly promoting this cause. And in fact, after COVID, I stepped down from my primary band, which is a high profile band regionally. It's called Metal Shop Dallas. It's like an 80s spoof band. If you're familiar with Steel Panther
Yeah.
was one of the original metal shops. They were based out of California. We're the ones based out of Texas. Anyway, I stepped down from that for a little while, and I was like, I want to focus just on Breast Cancer Could Stick It. I've got so much going on. And then I realized how much, there were multiple reasons. I had an opportunity to get back with him about a year later. And one of the reasons that I wanted to get back with him is because having my face out there in the public and being able to communicate directly with the community on a regular basis really helps our foundation a lot. So it's important to me to still be playing that. I love playing, so I want to be out playing anyhow. But having it be multi-purpose like that is even more of a driver for me.
We've had a bunch of people on the show over the 5 years we've been doing this, and I feel like the people who have like sort of reached that pinnacle of personal success, and I don't mean financial success, are the ones who've married the passion with the purpose. And that just feels like you're right on the bullseye with that. Like, how can you not succeed when you're doing something that you love so much, that you believe in so much? It's really cool to see. Congratulations for what you've done and what you've built, and it's really,
Thank
really
you.
awesome. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's really cool, the people that come out of the woodwork for something like this, and the magical people that are put in your life through this
Mhm.
process. There are so many good people in the world. There really, really are. I think that people start to forget that there's so many good people out there that want to help. And when you bring all those people together, it's a feeling like no other. When you come to Drumathon, I always celebrate this. At some point during the day, I'll just like stop and look around, and I'll just be overwhelmed with how beautiful it all is, to see everybody come together for such a important purpose, and to be able to make such a difference in the life of folks in the community. And it's just like, not to dwell on it, you guys already can tell that I kind of like Chip Ritter a little bit. But I wouldn't have ever met Chip had it not been for this foundation. And he's, as you guys know, he's a beautiful, glowing, positive spirit as well. And so being able to meet and have more of that in my life is just so fulfilling. And it's a whole nother kind of success where I don't need a Lamborghini.
Right.
I tell you what, the main thing that I remember when I think about April Samuels and how this all started for me, my journey with the Breast Cancer Can Stick It Foundation began with a man named David Betts from the UK. He's one of our fans here that is watching this show right now. And he put us together. He told April, go see Chip. He's at the Humes and Berg booth. April came to the booth. We went live on Facebook to say, hey, David, how's it going? Mission accomplished. And the rest is history. So I want to share a story real quick with you guys, if you don't mind. At the last Drumathon X, my sponsor, my AA sponsor, my best friend in the world, Kelly Knopp, he took me to the Venetian in Vegas before he died. We went to see, his bucket list was on Ringo Starr was his bucket list, right? So we went and saw Ringo Starr and his band with Greg Bissonette playing drums. And I got a picture of Kelly standing up doing the peace sign back at Ringo. And it was amazing. It was an awesome thing. And we tried to get a hold of Greg and see if we could get backstage passes, but nothing ever worked and it didn't work out. And but we saw the show and we got to see Greg play a solo and it was great. And Kelly was impressed with him and everything. And here comes Drumathon X. After Kelly Knopp passed away, he died. The Beatles were his favorite thing, and he loved Ringo's band. He said, "What a band! What a drummer! What a great group of guys!" And I'm backstage, and there's Greg Bissonette sitting there, and I was just like, it all came together, and I just started weeping out of gratitude. It was like, wow, if Kelly could, I know Kelly can see me now. I know he can see this. I know he's interested in this cause. So what a great thing. And Greg Bissonette, what a sweet individual. We had him on this show before, and Ringo actually called him while he was on the show.
Oh, that's so amazing. That's awesome.
Ringo wouldn't talk to us, but we like him anyway.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
He would talk to Chip, but not me and Jeremy.
Yeah.
He said no.
That's awesome.
April, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Why this book? Why now? Why Breast Cancer Can Stick It Foundation? What promoted you? What motivated you to write this book?
That's a great question, man. So when I was going through breast cancer, I didn't go out as much because I was really worried about getting sick. This was way before COVID, but when you're on chemotherapy, it compromises your immune system. Mm-hmm. And I've known many people who get just like a small illness like strep throat or the flu or something like that. And because they're on chemo, they end up in the hospital for days. So you got to be really careful. So I wasn't going out very much. And as you know, I love people. I'm energized by people. And so I really felt like I needed an outlet. And also people really wanted to know what was going on with me. And I was having trouble kind of getting the word out. So I started it was called Care Pages at the time. They're not around anymore, but it's like Caring Bridge, if you're familiar with Caring Bridge.
I remember, yeah.
So it's like a place where you can post updates on somebody who's ill or if you're ill or whatever. And so I started making these blogs on Care Pages. And I was just kind of, sometimes I would just be like home alone and just wanted to write. And I used to be a songwriter back in the 90s, and I hadn't been doing that for a while. And my mom was this big writer. And so I just found myself really into writing, and it just became super therapeutic for me. And so I just started writing a lot, and I would post these blogs and give updates and, very intense, personal updates about what was going on, because I also felt, like I said before, I felt immediately like I needed to be this advocate. So I felt that it was very important to share what I was going through, because I was going through so many things that no one talked about. The skin on my feet was peeling off. I got neuropathy on my feet to where even just my feet resting on the ground while I was in a chair, it felt like they were in hot coals. My nails turned brown, just a bunch of weird stuff that you don't hear about. You just hear about, oh, you feel sick and you lose your hair. You know what I mean? There were so many details that were happening that people don't talk about. So I was sharing everything. Chip, if you read the book, then it's everything.
Yes. Yes.
And so as I was doing this over the next, few months, and I ended up going beyond when I finished chemo because, there's still a lot of residual. There's some long-term effects, just kind of like, viewing life differently when you get through it, and, breast cancer can stick it, and just all the things, I still was feeling, I guess, called to write. So I kept kind of writing and posting in the blog. And somewhere along the way, somebody said, you know, this is really good information. You should release it as a book. And I was like, oh, whatever, still typing, doing whatever my thing. I'm just like, oh, that's nice, didn't think anything of it. Well, then another person recommended it, and then another person, and none of these people were related in any way. So it wasn't like they were all like, hey, let's go get April. They were all from completely different walks of life, but in my life. And I was like, this feels like something that I can't ignore. This feels like something I'm supposed to do. And so, to be honest, Chip, I've been wanting to release this ever since I completed my chemo and ever since I stopped writing. But if you've never released a book, it's a project like you could never imagine. You have to be ready to get involved in that.
Oh yeah.
And I lost my mother 2023, and I had just really started working on it. And like I said, my mom was a big writer, and I think that whole thing kind of propelled me into really getting it finished. And I worked extremely hard with Grace Point Publishing to have it released last year. And and it's also kind of I wouldn't go as far as say triggering, but you have to reread it multiple times. So it was hard,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was hard, and kind of cleaning it up, and you're kind of trying to look at it objectively, but
Right.
then you're like, that was me. And it's just, it's a pretty crazy experience. But yeah, I wonder,
You had to relive it sometimes.
yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah. So so it was over 10 years after I probably wrote the last, I don't remember the last entry. I'll have to look in here, but it's probably almost 10 years since the very last entry. It was like, 2013, looks like. Yeah. So somewhere around 2013 was the last entry. So it was 11 years after I wrote the last entry that we released the book. But it also, Chip probably knows this about me. I'm also very anal. So I want things to be and presented in a certain way. I don't want to half-ass anything. It's got to be, it's really important to me to get this out because I feel like this can help people. I feel like anybody telling their story can help people. It's not me, it's the story, it's the experience. And I'm not any more special than the next guy. It's just sharing experiences and letting people know that they're not alone when they're going through something traumatic, whether it's cancer or addiction or anything where you need hope or inspiration. Hearing people's story of going through something like that can give you that inspiration.
Oh yeah.
Right on.
100%.
I've got to say hello. We've got shout out to Fred Fisher for watching. We've got some people on Facebook. William Powell, welcome. Fred Fisher just bought your book 2 minutes ago.
Oh, thanks, Fred.
And we also want to say thank you to David Betts and Thomas Schuster. Lori Peters is here.
Sweet.
And shout out to Lori, and Jennifer Lampasana Tatum is here. So welcome.
We got some breast cancer constituent people. There's a couple of our board members are in the house, and then Bill William Powell is our social media guy. Yeah, thanks for being here, guys. So cool.
Very cool.
I was going to ask you about your board, and when you I know when people think a nonprofit is like one person, like no, nonprofit is a massive team of people. And when I assume you're the executive director, is that right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm the no one else seems to want to do it.
So when you put this together and file the paperwork, and then the next step is or maybe the first step is finding a board of people that want to support the vision and have the right skill sets to complement each other to help advance this. How did you go about how many people are on the board? Are they all people you knew from before?
Right. So many great questions. So before the board became the board, we just called it our staff. Nobody was paid, we're all volunteers, but we had kind of a little staff of maybe 10 people or something like that. And they were generally close friends. And my parents were on the board for, they dropped off the board in 21. So they were on the board for almost 10 years. So, like my best friend was on the board, people who were very close. And the thing is about the boards and the committees at Breast Cancer Could Stick It, it's a very intimate and personal relationship that you have with these people. And, in my opinion, it requires somebody who's very passionate about what we're doing. And so, we don't take any of that lightly, any people getting involved at that level. But that's how it kind of started out. But over time, it's been an array of people. Some people, like our vice president now, is somebody who came out to Jennifer Lamposona Tatum on right now. She's our vice president, and she met us at a concert in Dallas, Texas, where we had a booth, and it was God, she's gonna kill me for not knowing this. I want to say it was 2015, but I think it might have been like 17. But she came up and she was a rocker chick, and we were at it was like a 6 a.m. shine down type of situation. It was like a big festival kind of thing. So it was a rock thing where we usually do a lot of rock stuff. We do Country too. And she was just excited to see a different type of nonprofit that wasn't, nothing against soccer moms, but wasn't the standard soccer mom kind of breast cancer awareness nonprofit. It was based on music and rock and roll and stuff like that. And so she was very pumped about it. She kind of started following us and started volunteering, and then ended up on our drumathon committee, and then ended up on our board. So, and that was over, I don't know, like 7 years, 8 years, something like that.
Wow.
So it's various different ways. There's some people that, I was friends with, like in the 80s. Like there's a guy on our board who I opened for his band in 1988, and he and I have kept in touch, and he just so happens to have had tons of friends who've gone through breast cancer and lost a lot of friends to breast cancer. And he was supporting another nonprofit for many, many years. In fact, one of the first fundraisers I ever played after I finished chemo was one of his fundraisers for breast cancer. Okay. And eventually over time, he was like, you know what, I want to start putting my time to Breast Cancer Could Stick It instead of these other organizations, because he's a musician as well. So he got involved, and now he's on the board. So he kind of moved his way up as well. So it's just a lot of different ways. Lori Peters, she was with Skillet for many years, and she was a celebrity. She's a breast cancer survivor, and
she is a celebrity.
Yeah, we had her come. I believe the first one she came to, I think, was 2019, and she and I got really close for obvious reasons. Both female, both drummers, both breast cancer survivors. And just hit it off right away. And she started volunteering from afar. She's based out of Wisconsin. And eventually she ended up on the board. So it's just a lot of different ways. But again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like you're doing something like this, and as a drummer, you're making a lot of noise. So it's not just a metaphor. You're really making noise, and then you're figuratively making noise. And so you draw these people in that are just wonderful people that want to give back as well, and they just kind of flock, and it's beautiful. I feel so blessed to have these people in my life. Not even kidding, just feel very blessed.
April, I wanted to ask you, can you tell everybody about the warrior drum? Because it's such a great concept. I don't know where you came up with it or how it works, but can you tell everybody about what is the warrior drum?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Deborah Gloria. She's a former board member. She was on our board for 10 years, and she's our photographer. She's a huge creative mind. She had seen something that American Airlines was doing years ago with another nonprofit, where they were making it where if you made a donation and did it in somebody's name, they would put the name on this airplane. An American Airlines airplane. So that was like pink, and it was wrapped, and it had all these names, thousands of names on it. And Deborah was like, we need to do something like that. And I don't remember who exactly it was. I'll just give the credit to Deborah because I feel like it. But somebody came up with the idea of it being a drum. And so what it is every year at Drumathon, and we started this probably in 17 or 18, I think, is you can donate, I believe it's $10 to the Warrior Drum through our Drumathon page. So if you go to drumathon.org/register, there's actually a donate button up there, but you got to look for the one. There's a fundraiser named Warrior Drum. You find that, and you donate $10, and then you put the name of the person that you want on the Warrior Drum. You can put as many names as you want on there. It's just $10 per name. And so then what happens is 2 weeks before the event, so we have a sponsor of the drum itself. We've had Tama, DW, Pearl, Tidal Drum Works, tons of different amazing partners over the years. And we get that drum, we ship it over to Six Skins custom drum wraps. They've sponsored us since the beginning. They're amazing. And they wrap it in a cool, like some kind of pink, cool design, and then have all the names all the way around it. Awesome. And then at Drumathon, we have it, set out at the auction booth. People can come over, get their picture taken with it and everything, and they can bid on it. So if you want to bid on it and win the Warrior drum, you can actually do that. I wish I thought. I'm so glad you brought that up, Chip. I have a Warrior drum in the studio, but it's not accessible to me right this second. So,
okay.
But yeah, it's really cool and a special thing. And so it's done through Drumathon. So yeah, and that's about to actually be out of time. So please make sure and check it out. You can actually go to drumathon.org/warrior drum. So just warrior drum, one word, drumathon.org/warrior drum.
Drumathon.org/warrior drum. And you can see the picture of her holding the Warrior drum. It's really cool. It's a custom skin pink drum, and it's just an awesome idea. So thanks for answering my question.
Yeah. Thanks for asking about that. So good, Chip. Appreciate
April, I have a question for you. Is the mission of your organization to support scientific research with breast cancer, or is it to support people who have breast cancer and going through it?
We have 3 primary things that we support. So it's research and trials, mammograms for underinsured and uninsured individuals, and financial assistance for breast cancer treatment for those in need. So those are our primary things. When we first started, we were donating just to research and trials. That was really important to me because funnily enough, a lot of the organizations that donate to research and trials, it's not a very big portion. And it was important to me that we make that one of our big things. So half of the donations that we put out each year go towards research and trials. So this year we gave $35,000 to research and trials. Thanks at Baylor Sammons Cancer Center in Dallas. They've got a really great program there, and Dr. O'Shaughnessy leads that up. She's an amazing, world-renowned doctor. And then over at Parkland, we split half and half between mammograms and financial assistance for treatment. So we gave $17,500 for mammograms and then $17,500 for financial assistance for treatment. And the thing that's cool about the financial assistance for treatment is they didn't have a program set up there. So we set up the fund ourselves. And I'd actually, again, there's a lot of calling in my life after starting Breast Cancer Can Stick It, where it's just like, this is placed on my heart and I feel like this is what I need to do. In 2014, I believe it was, my friend, she had triple negative breast cancer, which is a more aggressive and more likely to recur form of breast cancer. She was metastatic. She came to a fundraiser that we were holding, and she handed me a check for $1,000 and said, use this to help someone else. It can't help me anymore.
Oh.
And when she did that, I was like, I have to do something with this. So just a few months later, she passed away. And then within 2 years, we started a fund at Parkland that we named after her, and it's called Dahlia's Breast Cancer Can Stick It Fund.
Wow.
And I wish I had, I'll have to pull up the numbers here because I think I have them in front of me, but we've donated quite a bit on that over the years. And so, really proud of that. And the first few years we had her, we invite her daughters every year, but the first couple of years, her daughters and her family came out and was there for that. And so it's really a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm really happy to be able to do something like that in her honor. But it looks like we gave so far over $150,000 to financial assistance for breast cancer treatment.
Awesome.
Over the years.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Truly amazing.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Kind of choked me up, man.
Yeah, I'm getting choked up over here, man. Can I enter some levity? Let's do a giveaway, because there's some people on Team Ritter that are watching that want to know whether they won one of our books. And everybody, as Deck, I'm so proud that Deck has decided to sponsor the Drumathon, but for both with a financial donation to Team Ritter.
That's awesome.
Everybody has donated a book. So this is Rick Stojak's How to Build a Drum Groove book. And I've got Team Ritter names in here. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out the winner for Rick Stojak's How to Build a Drum Groove. And the
Excellent.
winner is
Look at there.
Jay McDrum. Jay McDrum, you've won Rick Stojak's book. Congratulations.
Woo! Thanks for donating too, man. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
man. Thank you for donating to the cause. We appreciate every penny helps. It all
Heck yeah.
helps.
Hey, that's a party now, man. That's
Bubbles.
awesome.
You guys
Bubbles.
want to give away the rest of the books now or wait till later? Should I just
Let's
do it now?
wait. Let's wait till later. I got a question.
Okay, what's the question?
April, you had mentioned right before we started, you had talked about the Beat broadcast. Tell us about that. You said it was the second Tuesday of the month. Talk to us about the Beat broadcast. What's
Yeah,
that?
yeah. It's the third Tuesday actually of every month.
third
It's kind of
Tuesday,
a
okay.
weird time to do it, but we have to dodge around a lot of other meetings and whatnot that we have at Breast Cancer Consignment. So the third Tuesday of each month, we hold the Beat broadcast. Originally, for many years, we started it during COVID. But for many years, we were just broadcasting live on Facebook. During COVID, we were doing it like every week because we had nothing else to do. But then after we got through all that, we were doing it once a month. But again, we were just broadcasting live through Facebook. And here recently, it was, I think, 2 months ago, we opened up and we're now broadcasting to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube simultaneously. And so it's a really, really cool show. It's a 2-hour-long show. It starts at 7 p.m. Central Time. And we always start off with a breast cancer survivor or a warrior, somebody going through breast cancer, where we chat with them for about 30 minutes and hear their story. And again, like I said earlier, everybody's story is important because it provides hope to people. And each story is going to touch a different person because
Right.
people are going to relate differently. So it's really important to us that we share these stories. So we're grateful for everybody who comes on and does that. It can be hard, so it's really great that people do that. And then following the breast cancer survivor, we usually have a celebrity drummer come on for the second half. And so we talked to them for about 30 minutes. We were talking earlier that we've had, Carmine Appice, we've had Kenny Aronoff, we've had Rich Redmond. Last week we had Rod Morgenstein, Matt Starr, Phil Verone, Stephen Perkins. I mean, Blas Elias. We've had so many people over the years, and all of those interviews are available on YouTube if you want to watch any of the replays. They're also available on Facebook because we were breaking them out into YouTube videos there before we started doing the simultaneous broadcast. So now you can catch any of those on either of those channels, like for the long term. Like TikTok, is just in the moment. So if you want to watch any replays, you can watch them on Facebook or on YouTube. But it's a really cool thing, and I know I've had Chip on a few times to do interviews and whatnot. So it's a great time.
Oh, I've got mine bookmarked. I've got mine.
Yes.
Yeah, you should have just led with Chip Ritter.
I know. I keep doing that. Don't I? I'm like, in order for people to realize that this is legit, I always need to start with Chip Ritter.
Exactly.
Well, you're saving the best for last. You know what I mean? You're saving the
I
best
like
for
that.
last.
I like the way Bart thinks.
Yeah,
God, you've got so much going on. There's like multiple, clearly you've like been working at this a long time and you've got multiple irons in the fire that are all working toward the same goal. Do you guys do the Drumathon is a once a year annual event, right? And then do you have other like fundraising events or things that you do outreach all during the year?
Well, don't let me forget the question you just asked, because I have like 4 answers. So, wanted to point out that the Beat broadcast, like I said, we've been simultaneously, having that on a live, visible watch kind of thing. But we're also going to be starting to break those into podcasts. So that will be happening really soon as well. We're going to go kind of start from where we are and go backwards because we try to get everything released at some point. And then you were asking about other events. We do have other events throughout the year. It's usually just kind of like what pops up. A lot of times I'll do a breast cancer consignment event in association with a Metal Shop show, my 80s tribute band, in October. And so we're doing one of those this year. But there's always like other little things that come up, like I'm doing a thing with high school where I'm going to go and play drums, and like for their pep rally, I did a thing where I went and played with a percussion ensemble at a couple of different high schools. But there's corporations where maybe we'll have the breast cancer consignment band will play. So we have a breast cancer consignment band. I'll go out and speak. So there's just all kinds of from just having like a merchandise booth all the way up to having like the booth the band, speaking engagement, all that kind of stuff, or just attaching like our booth and something to an existing gig, like a local band. We're, friends with a
Right.
lot of the bands and stuff.
Mhm.
But the big thing I wanted to point out is you were like, yeah, your Drumathon event is an annual event. Well, last year we announced that in 2026, every time I say this, I'm like, oh God, I'm saying it again, so it's got to happen. Is we're planning to do Drumathon, our first ever Nashville Drumathon in
Yeah.
2026. So we announced that last year, so we could kind of start preparing for it. So we have a good little crew in Nashville. Big shout out to Bobby Gordon, Marco Lee. Oh my God, I just lost her name. Jenna Kopasecki. I think you know her too, Rick.
Jenna, yeah, absolutely. She's
But
awesome.
yeah, she's an amazing drummer. Chris Beals. There's several people over there in Nashville who are helping us out to start the Drumathon committee in Nashville. So we're really looking to get that done. It will look a little bit differently because we're planning to have it in an association with another event that's out there. I don't want to give away too much yet because we haven't announced it. But it'll look a little bit differently. The elements of the actual event will be the same, but it might be laid out time-wise a little bit differently. But really excited to take this into new markets. We're going to go into the Chicago Drum Show next year. We were offered a free booth there.
Awesome.
We were offered a free booth at PASIC.
Yeah.
And so we're going to start doing drum shows there. So it kind of started with Nashville because Music City Drum Show, we started having a booth there. And so when we move into Chicago, I'm hoping that will turn into a Chicago Drumathon, and then with PASIC and Indianapolis Drumathon, and just kind of expand around, because right now all the funds are going into, the Dallas community, but each event that we have in other communities, that money will go to that community.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Sorry about the long answer.
No, are you kidding? That's like the best answer you could. That's so great. That's so
cool.
great.
Awesome.
I was even thinking, like, I mean, that's just how my brain works. Like, oh, you got to go start traveling to all these different cities, and
yeah,
you're already doing it. That's awesome.
I don't know if we talked about it, but I got an RV earlier this year personally, and I had it wrapped in Breast Cancer Could Stick It. So it's a 32-foot RV that's pink and with some black checkers, and it says Breast Cancer Could Stick It all over it.
Very subtle.
Yeah. So like I said, I think I said either before the call or before we started, I can't remember, but I've already been to like 12 states and that. And so we're really trying to get it outside of just Texas, because we know that there's people that need help everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. So when are you going to PASIC? When are you doing that? Or have you done that?
Yeah, I think the one that we're planning to start with is next year. So I think it's in November of 26. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I followed you on that right. Like you had been to PASIC or you are going to PASIC this year. So I was just curious. Okay.
We've been to PASIC as in just as an attendee, but we've never had an actual booth. It was this year at the Music City Drum Show, ironically, where the Chicago Drum Show offered us a free booth, and then PASIC offered us a free booth. So for next year on both of those. And so we're definitely going to take up that opportunity, because I mean, I don't think anything happens by accident.
Right.
There's something driving us to these areas, and that's going to help us get the foot in the door of those areas, those new markets.
You guys, I need to jump in here and say a comment. I've just witnessing something that I've never seen before. I've never seen on Facebook this many hearts floating over the screen. This has got to take the record for the amount of hearts that we're getting. Thank you so much to everybody who's watching.
Yeah, big time. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, that's because all of our hearts are just glowing over here because we want to help people.
There it is.
Like I'm saying, it's just to bring good people together,
Yeah.
I think it's amazing that, something so dark and so horrible as cancer, and it's such a light, fantastic, positive conversation, because sometimes you hear the stories and they are dark and they are horrible. And I'm not trying to, what you went through was incredibly horrific, but you've brought so much good out of it. It's just phenomenal. And how like that one thing is the hub in this giant wheel that you have spinning now is just phenomenal. You've done this, taken tragedy and turned it into an amazing thing. So good on you.
Yeah, I agree. I think of April and I think the universe is conspiring to help her.
Well, I mean,
Well.
it isn't me, it's all of us together, and there's one guy leading the way for me, and I'm just doing what I'm told. You know what I mean? It's all we can do, but I am glad, Bart, that you brought up, that a lot of times it is dark. I was gonna just tell you a little bit about something that I just shared with our volunteers over the weekend. We had our volunteer appreciation party, and another thing that I've been really feeling called about is helping the metastatic community. So those are folks who are stage 4, incurable. Um, and, depending on where they're at in it, it could be maybe they just have a few weeks, maybe they just have a few months, maybe they have a few years. I feel like that community, their voice isn't as heard because we're all celebrating the survivors all the time, and we're all talking about early detection, and people who get the early detection, and people who are survivors, they're not dealing with anything like what the metastatic community is dealing with.
Mm.
And the reason I feel like this is really, it's been pushing on me for almost 2 years, I think. And it's just people very close to me are becoming metastatic. We have 5 people close to our organization who are metastatic, whether they were on our board, on a committee, currently on a committee. And we've got 3 that are breast cancer, 1 is ovarian, and 1 is prostate cancer. And I just feel like that community needs a voice. We haven't really figured out exactly what we're going to do with that. We have a friend who is interning, and she's a therapist. She's wanting to put together a support group specific for metastatic cancer survivors. I think a lot of the nonprofits really shy away from getting involved with metastatic folks because it can be very sad and very hard, because inevitably in this group that you may build, you're going to lose people.
Right.
But I think that there's a lot of things in life to be happy about. I think there's a lot of things in life like that you can do to be happy. I want to give people the opportunity to do those things that make them happy, almost like an adult make a wish.
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
it does. I get at a certain point that I helped as a caregiver to a dear friend who passed from triple negative breast cancer, and that was kind of the start of all this, I think, because I talk about breast cancer all the time, but I'd never been like in that, like in it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was life changing. It was horrible, but I wouldn't have wanted to be anywhere else,
Oh,
and it was like I just, there was a reason I was in that moment, and there was a reason I was learning what I was learning. And so I understand that you get to a point where you actually can't do anything, you
Mhm.
know, but while you still can, I want to give those people as much happiness as possible. I remember I was telling somebody this the other day. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling, but
no, keep
my
going,
No,
keep going.
you're doing
Ramble
great.
on, ramble on.
my
I know
aunt
that.
my aunt passed away from pulmonary fibrosis, and I remember that this was the first time this ever hit me. And I maybe she was the first person I'd been around that I was like, okay, she's dying. You know what I mean? Maybe it was the first person in my life where I was like, there's this person close to me and they're dying, right? And so I was just like, something just happened with me where I was just like, just every time you see her, do whatever you can to make her as happy as possible. She had a ventilator in, she couldn't talk to you.
Mm.
And I just went in there and I started rubbing her feet and bring lotion. I'd bring like a little, and then each time I'd bring a little something different for her feet. And to see her smile with that ventilation tube, it- I mean, just freaking make people smile. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
Whatever it
Yeah.
takes, you know?
if
And
there's
so,
one person we've ever had on the show that is literally doing God's work, it's you.
Mhm.
thanks, man.
I
Thanks.
mean, that's that. I don't know what else to say. I mean, that's, you know,
Well, I appreciate, I don't want, I could never take the credit, like all the graces to God,
I get it. I get
and all the
it.
people that are involved. I couldn't do one thing without all these people, without y'all, without Chip, without everybody.
There's people that have asked me, how did I raise the money I've raised in the time I raised it? And you will understand this if you go to Drumathon, if you actually see the people and the connection. it's easy in today's world to lose sight of how many lives breast cancer affects. And the people that have donated are always saying, well, this is for my mom, or this is for my aunt, or this is for my coworker that didn't make it. You know what I mean? So they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
very cool.
both of my grandmothers on both sides died of breast cancer,
Wow,
Yeah,
Jeremy,
yeah.
gosh, so
And-
sorry, man.
and my mom has it too.
Sorry to
You
hear
should every once in a while I'm going to go in business hat mode, and my business hat mode is make sure if you guys haven't had genetic testing, be sure to do that so you can understand your risk and be able to catch anything that might sneak up on you, because that much breast cancer in your family or any kind of cancer, if you have a
Right.
line of cancer in your family, you should really get genetic testing, especially those that have the cancer. If they can get the genetic testing, then that'll really shed a light on what's going on there, because they have so many genes that they have linked back to the various types of cancers. When I was first diagnosed, it was like 4. Now it's like 50.
Wow.
So I go back and get retested every time Dr. O calls me and she's like, hey, we got more, come get tested.
Mhm.
Try to figure out where mine came from, because there was cancer heavy on my dad's side, but so far they haven't linked me back to any of the genes that they've contributed to cancer. So it's a super important part of your health to be sure to do that for sure. So
Yeah,
sorry to go all mom on you or
No,
whatever.
No, that's
Please.
like one of the best PSAs you can offer, right?
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
I've had friends in my life who've had cancer. Actually, one of the guys was on the show when we very first started DEC. His name was Rick, and I think what he had was lymphoma. I think, I don't remember. At any rate, he and a few other people that I've known have said, like, once they got the diagnosis of cancer, and once they got through it, and they were on the other side of it, they changed everything in their life. They were like, okay, like he was like, all I used to wear was black shirts. I don't wear black shirts anymore. I wear colorful shirts. I wear Hawaiian shirts, and it's these things that they just, to them, it's extremely important. He was like, you know what? Me and my wife never got along. I'm out. I mean, they just change everything in their life. And it looks like you've done that same exact thing, but just with a ton of positivity. And again, I know I've said it a few times, but I'm just really blown away by what you've done, April. It's just unbelievable. And I sent you a friend's request just now on Facebook. I thought we were friends.
Oh, sweet.
I hope we're friends.
If we're not, we're going to be here.
We're going to be. I don't know how. I don't know what. I so want to get involved with this. I don't know to do what. I play drums. I can do
so many things you can do.
And
Chip will get you fundraising right away.
I can get you fundraising, and we can put you to work, Bart.
Dude, hand me a shovel and a broom. I'm your man. I really want to get involved. I really want to get involved.
Super inspiring, April. You're a light that's drawing positive people near you, and I'm just so grateful that you got on the DEC show today. Thank you.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go dye my hair pink right now.
Do it, dude. Do it.
Wait a second. Hold on.
Just paint it. Just paint.
You know what? I'm gonna grow a goatee, and I'm gonna.
There you go.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Hey, Chip, did you have some more books to give away?
Yeah,
I've got 3 more. I've got this one, Drum Up Your Business.
Who wrote that?
Which is signed by Bart Robley.
We're
going to give that away right now. The winner of Bart Robley's book is Alan A. from Excel. Alan Abramowitz, my student Alan. Wow.
Oh, right on.
That's all right. And let me give away Finding the Groove by Jeremy
Nice.
Steinkohler.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Oh
give this
yeah.
Hey, look, this right here is literally my Bibles over there. This
Eggy with $100 donation. You won a book, Finding the Groove, and then finally, Chip Ritter's Snare Force 1 Plugosaurus. We're gonna go ahead and give this to Alan A. Excel. Alan A. Excel. So we won 2 books from Alan A. Excel. Thank you so much for everybody that's donated to Team Ritter. Bart, do we have a book you're going to give away?
I do. I'm going to give away a copy of my other book, my first literary book, The Rhythmic Journey.
Nice.
And so, Chip, you reach into your little bucket there, or no?
All
Does
right.
it have to be somebody there, or can we pick somebody on Facebook? How you pick?
Why don't you pick somebody on Facebook?
You do it. You're the man in charge.
James
Pick
B.
some-
Harrison. James B. Harrison, you've won the rhythmic journey.
There you go, Jim. Awesome.
Lots of
James,
women in the house. That's
send me, James, if you're still on watching, do me a favor, DM me your address and I'll get it in the mail to you probably tomorrow.
April,
When is
the drumathon?
Drumathon is coming up November the 2nd. It's in the North Dallas area in a town called Plano, Texas. November the 2nd at Lexus Box Garden at Legacy Hall. It's presented by them in association with Roland.
Awesome.
November 2nd. Yep.
And do you have to pay to attend?
No, it is free to get in. It's all about coming in, feeling inspired, getting that hope that you need in your life, contributing to the cause, just being a part of the betterment of our community.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But when you go to the drumathon, bring your cash because you want to get up on stage with the rock stars, and there's nothing like it. There's nothing like being on stage with your rock stars.
That's right,
Your
man.
rock star right over there, Chip Ritter.
Yep. Get up and jam with Chipper. Heck yeah. Try to out juggle him.
Try to out juggle me. Yes.
Do it, man.
I am not going to try to out juggle Chip. It's not going to happen. Oh,
I'm not going to try to out drum Chip either.
Well,
man.
I'm out.
Coming from a ninja.
Me and Chip will sit down and do double bass together.
He says that, but I'm booking lessons with him. I got a lesson book next week with Jeremy Steinkohler. So
nice.
Don't be deceived.
No, Chip is the man. You
can't Jeremy's a bad dude, man. I remember when we did Deck Day up in your area, up in the Bay Area a couple of years ago. And we went out and watched you play, and he just sits down and he's like, "Hey, the guys in Deck are here. Make sure there's a drum solo in every song." So every song, and every song, I was like, "Holy cow, man!"
In April,
dude's got more chops than a butcher shop, man.
Jeremy's left hand left his parents on Krypton.
Wow, dude!
You guys are insane.
His left hand. Holy crap!
Hey, wait a second. God. We haven't had a. Everything today has had a dinosaur theme to it, Chip. So he's a Drumosaurus. What is
he's a Drumosaurus for sure.
There you go. All right. And on that note,
I will accept that moniker.
And on
that's awesome.
You're all Dromosauruses. You're all Dromosauruses.
That's right.
April, thank you so much. I mean, for coming on the show, for the work that you're doing, and just my God, what a bright light you are.
What a privilege to meet you and hear about what you're doing, and best of luck to you. Happy to support it in any way we can, and I hope you guys kill it this year. I know it's going to be a great event.
Thank you so much, Jeremy, and thanks, Chip, for the connection. I had such a great time hanging out with you guys and getting to know you.
I'm going to send you I'm going to
come back again
in a little bit.
Oh, heck
and so please watch for it.
I totally will, Bart. Thank you so much.
You bet. Chip, play some drums, brother.
Do it.
Thank you so much.
Watch this.